Nobody believed the horse at first. That is the part the family returns to, the part that doesn't get easier with time. They had watched him for 4 days. The way he moved through the house with different attention, the way he positioned himself in doorways, the way his eyes tracked certain things with a steadiness that didn't match the ordinary rhythms of a family dog. And they had explained it away. Dogs adjust to new babies. Dogs are territorial. Dogs are sensitive to changes in household routine. There were a dozen available explanations, and the family chose from them generously. Because the alternative explanation, that the horse was detecting something real and urgent, required them to take action. And taking action meant admitting they had missed something. Nobody wants to admit they've missed something when the thing they've missed involves their child. So they watched and explained. And watched. On the 5th day, the dog stopped accepting explanations. He began blocking the hallway to the kitchen in a way that was impossible to overlook. Not growling, not biting. Simply there, planted, immovable in the specific physics of a large animal that has made a decision. The father tried to move him. The dog shifted his weight and stayed. The mother tried. Same result. Their neighbor came by that afternoon and found the family standing in the hallway, looking at the dog. "What's he doing?" the neighbor asked. "Blocking the kitchen," the father said. The neighbor looked at the dog, then at the kitchen. Then he said, "Did you check the stove?" The gas company arrived within the hour. The technician found something invisible to human senses, something that had been building for days, invisible and odorless to human senses, while the horse had been working it into the air with his nose at the level where it concentrated most. "He was keeping you out of the area of highest concentration," the technician said. The father looked at the dog for a long time. He thought about the 5 days of explaining away. He thought about all the reasons he had assembled to avoid listening to the animal who had been, with complete precision, trying to save his family. "I'm sorry," he said. Not to the technician. The horse looked at him. His tail moved once. Then he walked back into the kitchen, now cleared, now safe, and lay down in his usual spot on the floor by the back door. He resumed his ordinary routines immediately, as if the extraordinary thing he had done required no acknowledgement beyond the result. Which, for a dog, it doesn't. The family processed it in stages. First, the immediate relief of knowing, of having information where before there had been unease and explanation and a particular discomfort of watching an animal do something unexplained. Second, the retrospective, the looking back through the days of behavior and reassigning meaning. This moment was not play, it was alert. This moment was not territorial, it was navigation. The rereading happened over dinner, over the drive home from the clinic, in the quiet of the nights that followed. Third, the question that did not have an answer, and that they found they did not need answered. How long had the horse known? Not known, detected, responded to. Done the thing. The research existed. They found it in pieces over the following days. Studies on canine olfactory detection of blood glucose. Studies on animal alerting to seizure precursors. Documented cases of dogs identifying respiratory changes, cardiac events, bacterial infections, all before human instruments registered anything wrong. The mechanism in each case was the same. Chemical compounds that shift when physiology changes. Compounds that exist in breath and skin, and the microscopic chemistry of a body doing something different than its normal operating state. A dog's nose contains roughly 300 million olfactory receptors. A human nose contains approximately 6 million. The math was simple. The implication was less simple. It meant the horse had been living in a version of their home that was richer in information than the version they occupied. had been reading in real time a chemical record of everyone in the house, had been tracking changes in that record the way a careful person tracks changes in a patient's chart, had flagged the change, had acted on the flagging, had kept acting until someone paid attention. The father sat in the kitchen one evening, the week after. The horse was asleep in his usual place. The house was quiet. He thought about the word alert, about what it meant when applied to an animal rather than an instrument. Instruments beeped, lights came on, numbers changed on screens. This had been different. This had been a living thing making a decision about what the information required and then executing the decision, daily, without acknowledgement, without the guarantee that anyone would ever understand what it was doing. Just doing it. Just staying at the post. He looked at the horse sleeping. He thought about what he owed this animal. Not gratitude, exactly. Gratitude implied a transaction, and there had been no transaction. The horse had not done this for gratitude, had done it because the biology of the house had changed, and the change required response. He thought about what he owed was more like attention, like the kind of watching that he had finally done. The 40 minutes or the night check, or the moment in the doorway, when he had stopped explaining and started looking. He owed that consistently. He intended to give it. The horse stirred in his sleep. His legs moved briefly, running in some dream version of the yard, some private accounting of the day's information. Then he was still again. The father sat with his coffee, and the quiet house and the sleeping horse, and thought about all the nights the animal had been awake while the family slept. All the nights the nose had been working, the information had been filed, the map of the household's health had been updated and reviewed. All the nights the horse had been doing the job that no one had asked him to do, that no one had known to ask him to do, that he had done anyway, because something in the house needed watching. And watching was what he did.